I want to welcome everybody here today to this. It's an important event in the history of Pike County, University of Pikeville. You know, for many years, Governor Patton and Governor, I want to commend you for your leadership while you was the Chief Executive of the Commonwealth of Kentucky and what you have done for the total education system of this Commonwealth. And your legacy is going to be what you've done for the children of this Commonwealth and what you've done for the state. As we try to put in a comprehensive plan to bring jobs to Pike County and Eastern Kentucky and the coal-producing counties, we've had a serious problem over the years, and that's a brain drain of our young people who's had to leave and go out of these coal counties into other institutions and then never come back. And we've got to change that. And why not change it through all this work and this planning the University of Pikeville has done in cooperation with the coal counties of Eastern Kentucky. We got to develop our future around our energy, coal especially, and natural gas. We produce Governor, we produce 53% of natural gas in this Commonwealth. And if we're a state, we'd be 10th in coal production in America. So why not use this coal money? They're not a chief executive, as I am, in any of these 9 counties that don't support what's happening here today and the purpose for us being here today. There was some disagreement in the beginning and a misunderstanding of most of not knowing how this was going to be put together with the KCCS community college system to bring an education system. You looked at the statistics, and we looked at them along with the leadership here in Eastern Kentucky and the governor of this Commonwealth. And folks, the governor of the Commonwealth in his original budgeted this money that we're here to talk about today that's going to bring the young people an opportunity to get a bachelor's degree in the future. Something that is desperately needed in these coal counties of Eastern Kentucky. So it ends up that the governor of this Commonwealth took multi-county severance tax and made it available so that the high school seniors would have an opportunity to stay at home to one of your facilities, Mr. Roberts, and get a bachelor's degree and or come to the campus of the University of Pikeville. So what an opportunity it is here in these 9 coal-producing counties. I don't want to take up a lot of your time. Leslie Combs, the quarterback on this, she knows more about it than I do, and she's here. She's going to proceed to tell you about the amount of money that under this legislation. The counties was Bell, Floyd, Harlan, Johnson, Knott, Letcher, McGoffin, Martin, Pike, and Knott. And I have talked to every county judge executive. These type meetings, I understand, Governor, have been held in each one of these counties so that these people, and I think as the people understand, as the parents understand, as the school personnel understand, and the plan that has been put together through these elementary schools and through our high schools, in the future this is going to continue to grow. The enrollment will come up in your all facilities, and then of course it will come up for those who want to come to the campus of the University of Pikeville. So what an opportunity we have. It's a pleasure for me today to introduce to you Leslie Combs, who is a hard-working state representative, has a little bit of a relationship of some 20 years with what we've known for years as Pikeville College, and her heart has been in education for years. It carried over, and you could tell when she went to Frankfurt, when anything was mentioned about education, you'd see that smile on her face because she wanted to be part of it. We're lucky that she was down there to carry this ball We had the leadership of the House. You did have the leadership in the Senate. And Governor, my pleasure today and folks to introduce to you Representative Leslie Cole.
Thank you, Judge. Appreciate that very much. And you're absolutely correct. Let me go back on something the judge said. I've spent 23 years with this institution. It's very near and dear to me. And I know what it's capable of doing. I know what it's capable of doing for higher education. And the steps it's getting ready to take right now in offering the programs it's going to offer to other students in counties right now that we know are not getting a four-year degree. I'm very proud of the fact that we're taking a lead role in that, and that this institution is charging forward with that. The judge basically talked about how we got to this point, and as he mentioned, back during the legislature, we did have a bill, House Bill 260, which did not succeed all the way through the process. But as a result, there was enough information that came out about House Bill 260 that convinced the governor of the Commonwealth, Governor Beshear, that we still needed to do a pilot program, a project here, to show just exactly what we were talking about and what we were trying to do in House Bill 260. And that is to back up the statistics that say that the regions, the areas of Southeast Kentucky are not getting a four-year bachelor's degree, and that we are behind the rest of the Commonwealth and don't have those same opportunities. So what this program does, as the judge mentioned, it will take multi-county cost severance dollars, not single county, Judge, no single county monies, and this money will not affect any other projects in play or other projects that counties could apply for in multi-county money.
I think there's 13 million
right.
left in it. Yeah.
Right. It will in no way affect any other possible options that are there that other counties can pursue. So we're going to take about $4 million out of the multi-county money and apply it to where students can either take the third and fourth year program here at UPIKE. Notice I still say Pikeville College quite a bit. It's hard to get 23 years out of your system, okay? But the University of Pikeville, or to the Kentucky Community College, Technical College systems that are in one of these 9 counties. So there are several opportunities for students in these 9 counties to get that bachelor's degree through the University of Pikeville and not necessarily have to come to Pikeville. We'd love to have them here, but they can obtain that bachelor's degree there as well. What I want to talk about specifically are the eligibility requirements. The judge has mentioned the 9 counties involved. To be eligible for the scholarship, a student must be a graduate of a high school in one of the 9 counties or have earned a GED while a resident of one of these counties and have earned 60 college credit hours, which will lead to a bachelor's degree. The scholarship will be equal to 40% of the difference between the tuition and the total of state and federal aid the student receives. At the University of Pikeville, this scholarship could be as much as $6,820 a year for a student who receives no state or federal financial aid. So this basically sums up what an individual student could be eligible for or how they receive the scholarship. So I'm very proud and honored to have sponsored House Bill 260 and to have gotten it as far as we did. And we did, Judge, we got it to the very final hour.
Up to the end.
And it didn't get called as a lot of important legislation doesn't over the years. But I think we accomplished quite a bit because we educated, and notice I use the word educated, we educated a lot of people across this Commonwealth about what we were trying to do. Through the process, they understood a whole lot more about southeastern Kentucky and what we needed to do, and the fact that we came up with our own available monies to invest in ourselves and not using taxpayer dollars. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to Governor Patton and for some follow-up words.
Thank you, Leslie, and thank you, Judge. And we've talked about assisting people in getting bachelor's degrees, and that's very important. Our people know the importance of going to college. That's not the issue. In fact, the students of these 9 counties, the high school graduates from these 9 counties, Randy, go to college more than the students in the rest of the state. But they go to your community colleges, great colleges. We are well served by the community college system. one here in Pikeville. We have one in Prestonburg and in Johnson County and Whitesburg and Harlan County and Bell County. Actually, 7 of these
Governor, you
9
can brag
counties.
on that system because you're the fellow that made it happen.
Well, we certainly, the community college has done a great service to the entire state of Kentucky over the last several years for a long, long time. So, but the community colleges by law can only offer 2-year associate degrees or 1-year certificate programs or the first 2 years of a bachelor's degree. So, and all of those are very, very important. But the fact is our students don't go on to get the two more years required to get a bachelor's degree. And the bachelor's degree is very, very important. In fact, on average in the United States, a person with a bachelor's degree will earn $1 million more over a lifetime than a person with only a high school degree. Now, the certificate and associate degree programs that the community college offers can lead to some very, very good careers. And I in no way want to say that they are any less valuable, but you have to have both. In fact, our data indicates that about 30% of the jobs in the United States require a bachelor's degree or higher to perform. About 30% of the jobs require an associate degree, one of the degrees you can get from the community college, and about 40% of the jobs you can do with only a high school education. But those are the low-paying jobs. Those are the jobs, generally speaking, that you just get by, and we want people to be able to earn that good middle-class living that they can provide their children with the kind of amenities that they want. So we need about 30% of our high school graduates to get the associate degree, and they're doing that. And we need about 30% of our high school graduates to get a bachelor's degree, and they're not doing that because there is no state-supported university serving this region. We are underserved by the state university system. That was the first premise that Leslie and Greg Sumbo saw when they said we need a state-supported university serving this area, and the University of Pikeville is the logical institution to do that, and we support it. Well, that didn't work, so we're trying to get basically the same result by providing scholarships to any college offering bachelor degrees in these 9 counties. And there are basically 4 or 5 of them. The University of Pikeville is the major one that's offering it because we are actually located within the 9 counties. So that's the importance of getting a bachelor's degree, building upon what a person would have already earned in the community colleges or perhaps another college, maybe even at the University of Pikeville. So I want to emphasize what Leslie said. The only thing you need to be eligible for this scholarship is to have graduated from one of the 23 high schools in these 9 counties and have 60 college credit hours. If you have that, you are eligible. And your options of what you can do are numerous. The University of Pikeville will establish an extension campus in each of these 9 counties, including one here in Pikeville, for the students that want to take advantage of this special program that we'll be offering. Now, these scholarships are available on the campus of the University of Pikeville for the regular student that takes the regular weekly program that's available. And it will be available to our existing juniors and seniors and to new people that want to come and go to the main campus. But what I want to talk about today is the extension campus concept. The University of Pikeville intends to establish an extension campus in each of these 9 counties. 7 of those campuses will be on the campuses of the community college. And Randy Roberts, I want to introduce as the director of the community college campus here in Pikeville, and Randy will give you an opportunity to respond and to comment after a while. But And then there's 2 counties, Martin and McGoffin, that don't have community colleges, and we'll be working with the high schools and other local communities to have campuses there. These 9 counties will be divided into two groups. One will be the South group and the North group. The South group will have 4 counties, Pike, Letcher, Harlan, and Bell, and the North group will have 5 counties, Floyd, Martin, Johnson, McGoffin, and Knott. And in each of those groups, we will offer interactive classrooms where the professor, and so we may only have 4 or 5 people in each location, but combined we'll have 25 or 30 people that will be taking this class. And the professor will be rotating from county to county to county to county, so that professor will develop a personal relationship with those students. And while the professor will be in one classroom, the other 3 or 4 classrooms will be on a TV monitor in that classroom. So everybody can see everybody. Interactive classrooms. And so we can, that way we can, if there's only 4 or 5 people in McGoffin County that want to take this bachelor's degree, we can serve them, where you couldn't afford to do that for just 4 or 5 people and send a professor over there. So that's the way it'll be delivered. What will be delivered? We're going to deliver 2 completer programs for bachelor's degrees in each of these campuses. Right now we're considering 4 options, and this is one of the things that people that might be interested in this, we have a survey that's available on the University of Pikeville website, and if you are at all interested in participating in this program, go to our website, fill out that survey, or call our admissions office, and we'll talk to you about it.
Nice to see.
The 4 things we're considering right now would be a degree, bachelor's degree in communications, a bachelor's degree in criminal justice, a bachelor's degree in business administration, and a bachelor's degree in business administration with an emphasis on healthcare. 4 different bachelor's degrees, and we will be choosing 2 of those depending on the response we get back from people. We have Mr. Speaker Sumbo. Please come up here and have a seat with Ms. Combs there. Randy, you can move down one.
Glad to see you, Speaker.
We run on time, young man. So I want to
notice his shirt, too.
introduce Greg Stumbo, who is a longtime state representative from Floyd County, served as Attorney General of the state, is now Speaker of the Kentucky House of Representatives, and was the individual that came up with this concept, that started promoting what we had all talked about for years, and that was the need for a state-supported university to serve this area. So, Greg, why don't you comment a little bit about that, and then I'll get back into explaining the details of the program.
Well, thank you, Governor and Judge, and all of you for being here. It's actually where we have gotten to was the brainchild of Leslie Combs after we weren't able to get the bill through the General Assembly, even though the Senate had committed. It passed the House rather easily, and the Senate had committed publicly. It's on KET. For those of you, if you have any doubts, we've got the tape. In the budget negotiations, Senator Stivers and Senator Williams agreed to pass House Bill 260. They failed to do that, but then Representative Combs came up with this idea that we could get a grant and got a hold of Governor Patton, and he was very instrumental in helping put that grant together by using these multi-county coal severance tax dollars. So that's what we have right now. It's not quite as big as the statute would have been. I believe we had, was it $10 million and $8 million. Yeah. And this is for initially for $2 million a year, although the governor says that if there is a need, they're willing to expand that. So, hopefully there'll be a need, and we'll have more a reason to go back and ask them for some more money. But it's a really neat concept. Everybody now knows, and I think we've made a very good case, even though people may have reservations about making UPIKE a public university. Those in the uninformed press certainly did, the Herald Leader and the Courier Journal, but they don't know much. But the point is, our facts are indisputable, and the facts were that in our region of Kentucky, we put as many kids into the community college system and into colleges after they graduate from high school as anywhere else in the state. The problem is we don't have that four-year college that's accessible and affordable in our region, and so our degrees drop off dramatically from the two-year degrees that our kids get at our community colleges to the four-year baccalaureate degrees. And it's clear. There's no question about that. There's no question that our area lacks. We fall behind the statewide average. We fall behind the national average. And the universities that are supposed to be serving us, Moorhead and Richmond, the public universities, they have what they call service areas, and they divide the state up. Really haven't done a very good job, to tell you the truth. So this is an attempt to get some money for kids who want to stay close to home to even the tuition rates up. So you can use this scholarship to obviously make your tuition about the same as it would be if UPIKE were to become a public four-year university, and it would be about the same as their peers go. About $3,000 a semester, I believe, is the ballpark. So, you know, that's kind of where it is, and I think that as we move forward, that there will be a time, hopefully I'll be there to be part of it, and that where the state will take a closer look at making UPIKE a public four-year university. The money that was going to be used to do that was from the coal severance tax multi-county monies, and the money was just going to be used to reduce the tuition levels so that all the tuitions would be about the same as they are for the peer public four-year universities. In return, the state would have gotten all the assets, the buildings, the medical schools, you know, the furniture, everything that UPIKE owned. I mean, it was a heck of a deal for the state of Kentucky, just from a business standpoint. But unfortunately, you know, there were those who had their reservations, and a lot of that opposition came from the higher education community in Kentucky, because they felt like, and they have been subjected to budget cuts over the past, you know, three bienniums at least because of the recession. But, you know, as things get better, it's kind of like I always tell people, the legislature hardly ever does anything right the first time. It seems like it takes us 2 or 3 sessions to get it right. But we'll be back making the case in some form or fashion when the General Assembly convenes in January of 2013, and I think this is going to be a good way to show that people, if they're given the opportunity, they will advance their pursuit of a four-year degree. I mean, I think at the end of this 2 years, we'll be able to come back in the next budget cycle, which is the 14 session, and say, here's real life proof that here's a number of kids that we were able to help with this much money. Here's what's happening, you know, and you start building the case even more. So that's where it is, Governor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you for being such a champion for this cause and for the University of Pikeville. And Judge, I want to thank you and the Fiscal Court for being the lead applicant for this grant, and the grant will actually be administered through the Pike Fiscal Court in cooperation with Knott County and some other counties. But appreciate both of these leaders getting involved in this program. And I want to emphasize what Greg had said. Our kids go to college. And I've talked to you about that about 30% of the jobs need a bachelor's degree. Well, in the United States, about 28% of the high school graduates get a bachelor's degree within about 6 years of graduation. So that's about what the demand is, maybe a little less. But in Kentucky, it's only 22%. It's only 22% that get a bachelor's degree. But in our area, it's only about 12%. So nationally, we're talking about 28% of the people getting a bachelor's degree. The rest of the state, we're talking about 22% of the graduates getting a bachelor's degree. And in our area, we're talking about 12%. And we cannot get ahead as long as we stay that low. So that's the objective. So we talked about the 4 possible programs that would be offered, building on the 60 or so credit hours that students have earned at in other colleges. And so, and we talked about where they're going to be held in each of the 9 counties. and we talked about how they're going to be held in interactive classrooms. And now let's talk about when they're going to be offered. Well, we will be offering 4 3-credit-hour courses each semester. That's 12 credit hours. We will do that for 4 semesters. That's 48 credit hours. Now, it takes 120 credit hours to get a bachelor's degree. The students have to have at least 60, and many of them will have more than that. But if they only have 60, they'll have to pick up 12 more hours, and we've got a way to do that. So each of those 3 credit-hour classes must meet 3 hours a week. Normally, you do that on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or on Tuesday and Thursday. But in this program, we're going to compress those 3 hours into one 3-hour session, all consecutive, on the same day. That's one element that's different than the normal college curriculum. And we're going to have options of when those classes can be held. And this is, again, where we need people that are interested. We need your input. We know which of the 4 courses would you be most apt to take, and we need to know which of these 4 options would you be most apt to participate in. This will be designed for the non-traditional student that has a job or has family responsibilities. One option, a weekend option, that would be a course on Friday afternoon, say from 5 to 8 or from 6 to 9. A class on Saturday morning from 9 to 12. Another class on Saturday afternoon from 1 to 4. And one class totally online. That's one option. A variation of that is a 2-hour class on Friday afternoon, and that extra 1 hour would be online, and then 2 hours class on Saturday from 8 to 10 with 1 hour online, a 2-hour class from 10 to 12 with 1 hour online, and a class from 1 to 3 with 1 hour online. That's the weekend option. Another option would be a evening option. It could be on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday evening from, let's say, 5 to 8 or 6 to 9, depending on what the students want. Or we could have Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday with 1 hour with one class online. Or we could have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday 2-hour classes with 1 hour online. That's the evening option. Now there will be a daytime option. Again, from Monday morning, say from 9 to 12, and then another class from 1 to 4 on Monday, and then say Wednesday from 9 to 12 and 1 to 4. Or maybe on Tuesday and Thursday. So there'll be the daytime option. And some of those classes may be online, depending on what the student wants. As Leslie said, this is a demonstration project, a pilot project. Let's find out what works so that when the 2014 session comes in and they want to apply this to the entire coal field, hopefully, we will have an idea of what works best for most students. So those are the things that we need input from the people that are interested in this program. Which 2 of the 4 courses would you be most interested in taking? What time schedule would you like to take it on? How much of it would you like online? How much of it through these interactive classrooms? We need your input on that. Now, what does it cost? That's a big impediment to students getting a bachelor degree. The state universities get a significant appropriation from the state that benefits all students. In fact, it averages about $6,000 or $7,000 per student. The University of Pikeville doesn't get that, and so we have a higher tuition. But we have a lot more scholarship options. So actually, a student can get over the University of Pikeville's tuition is this fall will be $17,050. But a student can get as much as $10,000 in state and federal aid to reduce that down to $7,000. And then a student can get a scholarship from the University of Pikeville from $3,600 to $5,600. So that could bring that tuition down for a student that gets a lot of state and federal aid, could bring the tuition down to just a couple of $1,000s. And under certain circumstances, the entire tuition can be taken care of through scholarships for people that get a lot of state and federal aid. So here's the formula. Who's eligible? If you're a graduate of a high school in any of these 9 counties and have 60 credit hours, you are eligible, period. Nothing else. You don't have to do anything else. How much could you be eligible for? You're eligible for 40% of the difference between our tuition, $17,050, minus state and federal aid. That state and federal aid could be $10,000. That would reduce your tuition to $7,000. 4% of $7,000 is $2,800. But then you're eligible for a UPIKE academic scholarship, which could be from $3,600 to $5,600. If you've got a high GPA in your college work, that would take care of all of your tuition. But let's say you don't get any state and federal aid. You're liable for the entire $17,050 tuition. 40% of that is $6,820. So let's call it $7,000. So that drops the UPIKE tuition down to $10,000. But if you're eligible for this academic scholarship, which you are eligible for the academic scholarship, that could cut it down, let's say, another $4,000. So you're getting the UPIKE tuition on the campus here in Pikeville at about the same as the tuition at Moorhead and Eastern, which is about $7,000. So that's one scenario of a student that gets no state or federal aid.
Yeah.
But let's say you go to one of these extension campuses. We will cut the remaining tuition in half with an additional scholarship. So if the scholarship on the Pikeville campus, if the cost on the Pikeville campus is $6,000, the cost at one of these extension campuses is $3,000. That is if you get no state aid. If you get state and federal aid, it could be zero. So I know that's been complicated, but go to our website, contact our Office of Admissions. They will work you through your individual situation, what it will cost you. But there's one thing for certain, it is affordable. That's not the issue. There are also loans are available to help you pay for any additional costs that you may have, like transportation or housing or something. So that's the program. We want you to go to our website, fill out our survey. We will start, the classes would start on August the 20th, I believe, run for 15 weeks in the fall, 15 weeks in the spring, the same as the schedule on the Pikeville campus here in Pikeville. So we want people that already have the 60 hours and are interested to contact us. What about the students that are already in the community college, or the students that are now in high school and considering what to do? I have one message for every high school student. When you graduate, you need to go to college. You need to go to college. Maybe it's the community college, maybe it's the University of Kentucky, maybe it's the University of Pikeville. To have a good chance to earn a living in this economy, you need to go to college. Now, let's say you want to stay home. You don't want to come to the Pikeville campus. You don't want to go to Moorhead or Richmond. I want you to look at going to the community college, Randy. Get the 60 or 72 hours at the community college. And you can stay right on that same campus and at the same tuition, and you can get a bachelor's degree that has never before been available here in Eastern Kentucky. So I think I've explained this pretty much in detail. I want Randy Roberts, who's the director of the Big Sandy Community College campus here in Pikeville, to talk a little bit about the programs that you all offer, both as your completion degrees, the associate, and even the technical degrees that you all offer. A person can make a very good living with the kind of 1- and 2-year programs that are offered at the community colleges. But they also offer 60 hours that can be transferred to any college in Kentucky, or at least any state college and the University of Pikeville. So Randy, talk a little bit about our community colleges and what you all have to offer.
Thank you, Governor. It certainly is a pleasure to be in the Commonwealth of Kentucky and to be part of the educational opportunities that are here. Clearly, they've never been as affordable or as accessible as they are now. KCTCS was created under Governor Patton's leadership and vision, and Big Sandy Community Technical College has campuses in Pikeville, Prestonsburg, and Mayo and Hager Hill. We have 4 campuses among the 5 counties that we serve. Students who enroll there can take classes for technical programs to earn an associate's degree, associate of science, associate of arts, technical certificate, and diploma. We have, I know of one student we had that just enrolled, had earned his GED, and was able to get his certification in telephony, and was able to seek good employment, but is in Tennessee. But it's a success story for this young man who needed the encouragement to come to college and to be successful. That's what this opportunity is presented today with the University of Pikeville and with Big Sandy Community Technical College and the other colleges in the counties mentioned. Students can earn a technical degree in, we have industrial maintenance that teaches you a variety of things that several of our graduates have gone ahead and worked for Toyota manufacturing. We have had auto body, auto technology, all certified technicians, plenty of opportunity within the dealerships and in the area. Your associate's degree, your associate of science, associate of arts degrees for education, biology, engineering. There's just a host of opportunities available to meet the need and to take away the mystique or the uncertainty of coming to college and to continuing your education. And that's what's so marvelous about this program, is that it allows, for the first time ever, for us to continue with an education in a seamless way, with a transfer of credits and the seamless opportunity now with the University of Pikeville. There's no reason why we can't improve the quality of life and have a better living for our students and our citizens.
You know, this is a partnership between the University of Pikeville and the community college system. The Big Sandy Community College, Southeast Community College, and Hazard Community College will be having classes on each of their campuses. And I want to emphasize what Randy said, that there are great career opportunities at the community colleges just over the 2 years. But the most economical way to get a bachelor's degree is to go to the community college and stay there through these extension campuses and live at home. But there's also great value in coming to a residential campus like the University of Pikeville, and you're still in a protected community, but you're building that independence from family. So there's lots of options that students have, and I want our high school students to start thinking about getting your bachelor degree here in our region. What happens to many of our students that have to go to Moorhead or Eastern or Lexington to get a bachelor's degree? They go down there, they get married to somebody from other part of the country, and they don't come back. And we need our highly educated students to stay here and contribute to our economy. So I think we've about covered the details. Are there any questions anyone have any questions that we haven't cleared up? Yes, ma'am.
Just one thing, Governor. When you've gone to the other communities, you've talked about how these students will be University of Pikeville students, and our student services will be an important part of the educational experience.
That is a very important point. The classroom is obviously the heart and soul of any college experience, and but sometimes people need help with things like financial aid or tutoring or advising. What course do I need to take next? It's the responsibility of the university to help those students. And here on the campus, we have a complete array of services, what we call student services, to help the student in any variety of ways. those same services will be available to the students attending these extension campuses. And we're going to make a very, very strong effort. There will be a person that will be at each of these campuses every week to take care of any kind of student service need, from a veteran that wants to know what their benefits are to a student that needs help with tutoring. So the student service element is a very, very important part of this program.
One other thing I want to finish up on too, and we've commented on it here a couple of times, is the statistics of our students going to college. Something else very important about the decision to do this program, and Governor Beshear going ahead and agreeing to do this, during the legislative session with House Bill 260, the governor commissioned a study. Now, we weren't real crazy about that study at first, but that study, after it was performed, came back and overwhelmingly justified our statistics. It said exactly what we were saying was going on, except even greater. But one of the things I found interesting out of that study was the fact that when this issue was discussed with them, one of the key things that came out of it as well is they wanted to stay at home and get that 4-year degree. They didn't want to go away to get it. And this is an opportunity to let that happen for them.
And that study also analyzed the fitness of the University of Pikeville to fit into the state system. And it was 100%. Our facilities are adequate, our faculty is adequate, our support services are adequate. The University of Pikeville has all that it would take to be incorporated into the state system as an equal institution. It's just the money that the state would end up giving us the same support that they give to the other state. And our students need that. Our students deserve as much support for the state. While the scholarship program goes a long ways toward that particular problem, there would be many other advantages to this region if we had a state supported institution, because they do a lot more in community service than just provide classes. As Representative Sumbo has pointed out, when you go to every community that's had a state university for the last 75 or 100 years, they rate very high in college attainment and in economic attainment. And this region, given if we had had a state-supported institution for the last 75 years, Eastern Kentucky would be totally different than it is today. But we can't worry about what didn't happen 75 years ago. We've got to worry about what's going to happen 25 years into the future.
We can make it happen going forward, right?
Well, that's right, and it's going to be my #1 legislative priority, I can tell you that, because it does change a region. If you look at the statistics from Madison County or Round County or Callaway County, where Murray State's located, Governor Patton's exactly right. Not only do they have a higher percentage of their population that have 4-year degrees, they also have a very significantly higher per capita income for all of their residents, because these universities are really little economic engines. You know, they produce the trained workforce, they produce all the spin-off businesses that are associated with running a public university, and it's a region changer. Over time, I'm convinced if we can have a 4-year university here, over time, in your lifetimes, maybe not mine, but in 50 years from now, people will look back and this will be a different region. It'll look differently. It'll be what it needs to be as far as having jobs and opportunities and those type of things, so that our people can stay here and have the same thing as everybody else has all across this Commonwealth.
Well, again, I want to thank Representative Stumbo and Combs for the work they've done, and Judge, you and your fiscal court for the support you've given us. And say one more time to sum up, if you're a graduate of any high school in these 9 counties and you already have 60 college credit hours, you are eligible for a $6,820 scholarship at the University of Pikeville. And we urge you to call us, go to our website, and get the details. So with that, thank you all. Let's go to work.
And what, Governor, it's a 2-year program. So if you know somebody that's say they're enrolled at PCC or something, and that they're in their 2nd year, this coming fall they'll be in their 2nd year, let them know about it, because obviously it's something they could look for down the road next year. Not in this fall, but next fall when they're ready to move out of the community college system. They'll have their 60 hours, and this is a 2-year program. So it's something that's kind of, if you think of you know people like that, let them know there's some money, help's on the way.
And that point, I want to point out, 12 credit hours is a full-time load in college, and for somebody working, trying to take care of a family, that's a real big thing to take on. You can cut that in half. We will have this designed so that if you only want to take 6 credit hours for 8 semesters instead of 12 credit hours for 4 semesters, you can do that. So if you don't be over concerned about having to take 12 hours. You can take a half load and just spread it out over 4 years. So with that, thank you all for being here, and let's go to work.
Thank you. Thank you, Governor. Thank you, dear.
Likewise.